when you're with a group and they say you want to go out tonight, you want to go to a vegan restaurant, whatever, and you say no, people might initially think you're weird for it or you're like whatever. I've said no plenty of times when people ask me to hang out and I just say no, need some alone time, and they call you weird, and I say well, whatever. And then after that, you've set your character, let's say, because a true friend wouldn't care if you need alone time. They'll respect it, even if they think it's weird or whatever. If it's your character, they'll eventually respect it. And they'll adapt themselves to whatever it is you do. If not, they don't deserve a spot in your life. And eventually you find a middle ground. When you feel like doing someone else, when you feel like doing something else, that's when you will eventually meet up. And you will have built your charisma by not doing what you don't want and doing what you do want. It is as simple as that. You immediately charge your magnetic vibes if you just start doing what is aligned with your true being. Trust me on that. Now, it might cost you some friends, but it will immediately gain you new ones, in the sense that if people, for example, after this lockdown ask you to go to a pub to drink yourself faceless, let's say, and you have suddenly realized that you don't want to hang out, or this is actually not a fun activity for you and you just don't want to see them again, you don't have to say that you don't want to see the guys again. You just say, no, I'm not coming. And if this whole friendship revolved around drinking in the first place, if it is 1-2 times that you say you don't want to come out drinking, the third time they will not ask you again, and you'll never see them again. Your friendship is over. I'll tell you why. That's because it was not a friendship in the first place. That's the only reason. So that's exactly why you don't need to tell them why you don't feel like coming, because you start defending yourself. And you should never defend the certain way you feel about stuff. You should never defend your actions. Never. If someone starts asking you why you want to do certain stuff or not, you just don't answer. You say, well, because that's what I want. It's none of their business. And if they're friends, either next time they want to ask you to come, or next time they still ask you to come. And if you either say yes or no to something, they'll not ask you why anymore. So it's a double win for you. You lose the friends you were not meant to keep, and the friends that are meant to be in your life, you strengthen the friendship, because they will now know what you like and don't like, instead of you doing something against your will. Other side of the coin is that your friend will also start feeling more comfortable if you propose a thing. If you want to go to a nightclub or you want to go on a hike, the person says no, you just say, alright, don't worry, do something else next week. And that automatically tightens your bond and it charges your charisma. You will get more of a steady hold of the things that you like, and you will immediately let go of the things you don't like. And it will affect the rest of your whole life. All the relationships and friendships that you will keep. Trust me. either way. So charging your charisma is an easy thing to do. You should always be yourself, no matter what. It is better to be weird, or to be found weird, than to be found boring. Like, don't stand in line with the normies, let's say. If you wanna go travel alone, just like me, go do it. You can't imagine the blowback I had for wanting to travel alone. People said, "Oh, you're insane. What's wrong with you? Don't you have friends? Find a girlfriend, find a boyfriend, whatever." Actually, if you start doing it, you start posting your stuff, people say, "Oh, it's actually kind of cool. I'm here sat at home with my girlfriend who's a piece of work and who only wants to take me to her to my mother-in-law, and I don't feel like doing that." Well, it is you who has won right now. It is you who has charged your charisma. It's the guy who initially thought you're pathetic for someone going on your own, who has lost his charisma. That's how it's a plus-minus type of game. You win, you lose, and the other guy either wins or loses. Now let it be the case that the person who builds a stronger confidence will always end up on the positive side. It's positive side. That means the charging of the charisma and not the deflating of the charisma. It's either one or both. It doesn't stay steady either. You need to keep pushing it. It means you improve yourself bit by bit, and you keep finding interests, pursuing interests, and it never stops, I would say. That stays the way it is. And that eventually results in that people will want to be around you because you have this certain charisma, and not pretending to be anyone else gives you this magnetic vibe, and people will want to be around you. And even if you're a woman who, I don't know, or a man who's not a top model, just by being yourself unapologetically, for example, if you go to a club and you dance very weird, you might look a bit silly, but it doesn't matter. The opposite sex will be attracted to you because you're enjoying yourself. And the guy who is in the tight shirt, the wrinkless shirt, sitting in the corner sipping his beer, thinking about what anyone would think of him if he starts dancing. And if he starts dancing, it's very like stiff, let's say, because he tries not to look silly. That is the person that ends up losing the charisma. Like, it is immediately the destruction of your charisma. Like, if I go to a club, I dance, and people come up and talk to me, offer me drinks, hang out with me. That's because they're sitting in a group where people are concerned to dance. They're not enjoying themselves. They're afraid what others might think. And they're just charging up their alcohol until such a toxic level where they don't care anymore, and they eventually start dancing. But that's only after an hour and a half. And then it's long before that the girls get turned off by the guys. And perhaps the other way around as well. And they start flocking to the people that do seem to enjoy themselves. And it doesn't matter if you then are dancing in a very silly way. You can be jumping up and down, but they will see you enjoying yourself, and they will not even be thinking of the way you look, whether it's silly or not. Perhaps they will for a second, and then they will see that, hey, at least he's being himself. There's something to him that I don't see in the other guys. And that's the charged magnetism.